Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This video is about the nomenclature and introduction to neoplasia. The references for this lecture are these. The learning objective for this video are to describe the definition of neoplasia and to describe the nomenclature of neoplasia. Neoplasia is the second common cause of the death in the United States, and it is second only to the cardiovascular disorders. It is not only associated with mortality, it is associated with emotional and physical suffering also. The announcement of a cancer to a patient can be a routine for an oncologist, but for the patient it has got it is a disaster, and this disaster is associated with physical suffering, in which patient can lose his life or some organ or of the body. The cancer or neoplasia is not a disease. In fact, it has got diversity, because there are many disorders. The cancer or neoplasia can affect any area of the body, and each of these entity, the neoplasia, has got some etiological mechanism and the pathogenetic mechanism, and they behave differently within the patient and also behave differently to the treatment. Some of the tumors are cured by simple excision, while some of the tumors, they recur after the excision, and some tumors, they cost the life of the patient. There are various treatment modalities are available for the neoplasia, and each neoplasia has got some distinct response to the treatment modality. The nomenclature for the neoplasia. This neoplasia is composed of Greek words, that is neo and plasma. Neo means new and plasma means new thing formed. So neoplasia literally means a new thing formed, while neoplasm is a collection of cells and stroma that are composing new growth. The tumor means swelling, and it is sometimes equated with neoplasm. The oncology is derived from word onkos, that is the Greek word that means a tumor, and this study of the tumor or neoplasm is oncology. So the neoplasm can be defined as a genetic disorder of cell growth that is triggered by acquired or less commonly inherited mutation affecting a single cell and its clinical progeny. These mutations alter the function of a particular gene and give the neoplastic cell a survival or growth benefit that result in excessive proliferation of the cells, and this proliferation is independent of physiologic growth signal and control. The neoplasm can be considered as burlesque of normal development and the autonomous growth of tissue that have escaped normal restraint on cell proliferation and accumulation exhibit varying degrees of fidelity to their precursors. So, the neoplasm is an abnormal mass of tissue the growth of which exceeds and is uncoordinated with that of normal tissue and persists in the same excessive manner even after cessation of the stimuli which evoked the change. So, the important point in this is an abnormal mass of tissue. Its growth is exceeding from the surrounding tissue and it is not coordinated with the other element of the tissue. Sometimes there is epithelial proliferation, sometimes there is stromal proliferation, sometimes there is one element of the tissue is excessively proliferated, sometimes the other area is degenerated, okay, and it remains in same excessive manner when the the stimuli which initiated the this neoplasm. The historical perspective of the neoplasia are interesting and various theories for the etiology and its pathogenesis evolved over centuries. The evidence of bone tumor was there from prehistoric time and the disease is mentioned in early writing from India, Egypt, Babylonia and Greece. Hippocrates distinguished benign and malignant tumors. He also introduced the term carcinoma for the malignant tumors and described cancer of the breast. Paul of Aegina in 2nd century, he reported frequency of the breast cancer. For centuries, the humoral theory of the neoplasia prevailed. Hippocrates proposed that the body is composed of 4 body fluids that are blood, phlegm, yellow bile and black bile, and this proportion or abnormality among these body fluids will result in neoplasia. The lymph theory was introduced in 17th century and this lymph theory stated that cancer formation was by fluid that is called lymph. Muller in 1838 stated that cancer is made up of cell. That was the basis of the blastema theory of the cancer or neoplasia. And Verco stated that all cells including cancer cells were derived from other cells. Verco also added that the chronic irritation is basically the cause of the cancer. Thursch added that cancer metastasizes through the spread of malignant cell and not through some unidentified fluid. From 1800 to 1920, the cancer was associated with trauma and trauma was considered as a cause of the cancer. In 18th century, another theory was the parasite theory, which stated that cancers are contiguous and spread through parasite. Discovery of the DNA by Watson and Crick, who received Nobel Prize in 1962, they described the helical structure of the DNA and changed the size. In 1970, subsequently, the scientists discovered genes and 2 important families of genes, oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes were identified. The neoplasms are derived from the cells that normally can multiply. The mature neurons and cardiac myocytes they have got limited dividing capacity, so they do not usually give rise to tumors. A tumor may mimic its tissue of origin to a variable degree. It may resemble to their parent structures, as happens in hepatic adenoma, and it may have a collection of cells that are so primitive that the tumor's origin cannot be identified, as happens in primitive neuroectodermal tumors or in pleomorphic rhabdomyosarcoma or various undifferentiated tumors. The tumor is composed of parenchyma and surrounding reactive stroma. The parenchyma is composed of neoplastic cells, and this parenchyma is basis for classification of the tumor and its biologic behavior, while the reactive stroma is composed of connective tissue, blood vessels, and cells of adaptive and innate immune system, and these component they determine growth and spread of the tumor. The some of the tumor they form scant collagenous tissue, so these are soft and fleshy, while some are associated with abundant formation of the collagenous tissue. Therefore, these are called as desmoplastic or desmoplasia. Some tumors are very hard in consistency due to excessive proliferation, excessive deposition of the collagenous tissue. There may be calcification sometime, and these are scarce tumor, and these scarce are stony. The benign tumors are localized at the site of their origin, and they are generally accessible to the surgical procedures. But the benign tumors, even if they are benign, are sometimes located in deeper structures such as in the brain, and the brain glioma are usually not accessible to the surgical procedures. The benign tumors they are associated with a good outcome, although there are some benign tumors that are recurrent and they recur after excision, but overall prognosis is good and there is no threat to the life usually. The tumors are named by adding "oma" as suffix to the cell of origin. The mesenchymal tumor are fibromas and chondromas. There are many others, but for example, these are fibromas and chondromas. The fibroblast or fibroblast-like cells are giving rise to a benign tumor, so these are termed as fibroma. If the cells are looking like cartilaginous cells, they are termed as chondroma. And the epithelial tumors can be named on the basis of their cell of origin, their macroscopic appearance or microscopic appearance. Example of these epithelial tumors is adenoma, papilloma, cystadenoma, papillary cystadenoma or polyp. When the benign tumor, this oma is exhibiting glandular pattern or arising from the gland, it is termed as adenoma. When it is showing finger-like projection, that is termed as papilloma. And when these glandular structures are also forming a cyst-like cavity or cystic space that are termed as cystadenoma. When these cystadenomas are associated with papillae formation or finger-like projection that are microscopic, that is termed as papillary cyst adenoma, or macroscopically they can be simply termed as polyp. The photomicrograph on the left is showing a glandular polyp that is arising from the surface, and this glandular polyp is attached with the wall by a fibrovascular stalk. So on the right, this is the gross appearance of multiple polyps, these reddish structures that are arising from the wall, and these are projecting into the lumen. Although local destruction and invasion is seen in many benign tumors, and in these cases the benign tumor also recur, but this local invasion and destruction is exclusive characteristic of malignant tumor, and they also tend to spread to distant site that is termed as metastasis. They are associated with death usually, and early detection is very important to decrease the mortality and to decrease the damage by these tumors. Hence, there are many screening programs for the detection of various malignant tumor. One of these detection program is the use of Pap smear, that is papillonuclear smear, that is used in various stages of the life to detect the carcinoma of the cervix. Then these malignant tumor, when detected, they can be excised, and this excision is usually accompanied by use of some chemotherapeutic drug and antibodies against some agents. The nomenclature for the malignant tumor is almost same as for the benign tumor, but the mesenchymal tissue in these malignant tumors, mesenchymal tumor of the malignant tissue is termed as sarcomas. The term sarcos is from Greek word, and that is fleshy. The leukemias and lymphomas is the term which is used for the malignancies of the blood origin. Leukemias, which literally means white blood, is related more with the liquid malignancies, while lymphoma with the solid one. And lymphomas are associated with the lymphocyte malignancies. The epithelial tumors, the malignant epithelial tumors are termed as carcinomas. These carcinomas can be squamous cell carcinoma or adenocarcinoma. When they exhibit or arise from the squamous-like cell, they are termed as squamous cell carcinoma. And when a tumor morphology is like glandular spaces or arising in a glandular background, that is termed as adenocarcinoma. For some of the tumor, the cell of the origin is also very much specified. So These tumors are named according to their cell of origin, such as renal cell adenocarcinoma or bronchogenic squamous cell carcinoma. Some of the tumors have got the loss of differentiation from their cell of origin, and the morphology is completely undifferentiated. So these are termed as undifferentiated tumors, and they account for about 2% of all tumors. Some of the tumors are termed as mixed tumors, and these are the tumors in which more than one line of differentiation is evident, and they create distinct subpopulation of the cells within this tumor. Examples of the mixed tumors are pleomorphic adenoma and mixed tumors of the salivary gland. In these, there is epithelial component that is scattered within a myxoid stroma that may contain island of cartilage or bone. Important to remember in these mixed tumor that the both of these population, they arise from a single neoplastic clone. So this photomicrograph is showing that there is presence of bone, cartilage, and this bone and cartilage is present within a myxoid stroma, and there is also epithelial component which is present within this photomicrograph. So an example of mixed tumor. Then there are other mixed tumors that are termed as teratoma, and they are differentiated by the mixed tumors we have seen earlier because they are recognizable mature or immature cells or tissue that belong to more than one germ cell layers, and sometimes they may contain all three germ cell layer. They originate from totipotent germ cells. Totipotent germ cell is a single cell that can give rise to a new organism given appropriate maternal support. These totipotential germ cells are present normally in the ovary and testes, and sometimes they are also present in abnormal midline embryonic rests. One of the example of the teratoma is cystic teratoma of the ovary. On the left, this is an opened cystic teratoma of the ovary, which is showing that it is composed of, it contains a bunch of hairs. There is sebaceous material also, cheesy material also, and you can see that there is a tooth-like material. Tooth is arising from the substance of this tumor. On the right, the photomicrograph is showing the histopathology of this cystic teratoma of the ovary. That this black arrow is pointing towards the skin. The red arrow is pointing toward the sebaceous glands, while the green arrow is pointing towards the adipose tissue, and this blue arrow is pointing towards the neural element that is present within the same field. So it is composed of cell lineage from many cell lines. Though the benign tumors are named by adding suffix "oma" after the cell of origin, such as fibrous tissue benign tumor is fibroma, in which the fibrous, the first part of the word is from fibrous tissue and oma is added, and most of these are benign, but there are some ominous omas that are lymphoma, melanoma, mesothelioma, and seminoma. All these are malignant tumor despite having oma as suffix. Hematoma is the presence of disorganized masses that are composed of cells indigenous to the tissue that is involved, and these hematomas have got clonal chromosomal aberrations that are acquired through somatic mutations. Therefore, these hematomas are now considered as benign neoplasm. The choristomas are heterotopic rest of the cell or aberrant presence of tissue to the which is not normally present over there, such as the presence of pancreatic tissue in the submucosa of the JIT or the presence of adrenal tissue within the renal cortex. Sometimes the tumors are named after the scientist who described this, such as Ewing sarcoma, which is a tumor of the bone and soft tissue, and Hodgkin disease or Hodgkin lymphoma, which is named after Hodgkin, and it is a type of lymphoma. The terms benign and malignant are not only the changed morphology or altered morphology of tumors, rather they determine the biological behavior of the tumor. The benign tumor, they tend to remain within the affected area. They increase in size in that area, and they invade local area or local tissue, but they progress very slowly, they grow slowly, while the malignant tumor, they grow rapidly as compared to the benign tumor, and there is no boundary of this invasion, local invasion. However, the benign tumor is limited by a capsule. This capsule, it forms a tissue plane between the tumor area and the normal surrounding tissue, and is composed of the normal surrounding tissue that is compressed due to proliferating tumor cells. These benign tumors, they don't have the tendency to metastasize, and they are very much similar to the tissue of origin. That means they show characteristic differentiation, while the malignant tumors are not differentiated. They go beyond the boundary and they metastasize also. And they are undifferentiated. So the tumors are classified on the basis of their location, the cell of origin, the descriptive modifier for the tumor, and predictors of the biological behavior. So we have seen that there are three types of the tumor. One is the tumor that are arising from one parenchymal cell type. Then there are tumors that are mixed tumor, and these mixed tumors arise from single layer of germ cell. And there are tumors that arise from more than one germ cell layer. So the tumors that are composed of one parenchymal cell types can be of mesenchymal origin and epithelial origin. The tumors of mesenchymal origin, such as the connective tissue and its derivative, are named after adding oma for benign and sarcoma for malignant tumor, and after the cell of origin, such as fibroma, lipoma, chondroma, osteoma, and the malignant counterpart are fibrosarcoma, malignant tumor arising from the fibrous tissue, liposarcoma that arises from the adipose tissue, chondrosarcoma the cartilaginous tissue, and osteogenic or osteosarcoma that arises or exhibit the features of bony tissue. Then there are blood vessel, lymph vessel and mesothelial tumor, both the benign and malignant counterpart as hemangioma, angiosarcoma, lymphangiosarcoma, mesothelioma, benign fibrous tumor, and the tumors of brain covering such as meningioma and invasive meningioma. Then there are tumors of blood cell and related cell types such as leukemia and lymphomas. The muscles, smooth muscle tumor are leiomyoma and rhabdomyoma for skeletal muscle tumor, and the malignant counterpart of a smooth muscle tumor is leiomyosarcoma, while the malignant counterpart of the striated muscle or skeletal muscle or heart muscle is rhabdomyosarcoma. Then the tumors arising from the epithelial origin can arise from stratified squamous epithelium and termed as squamous papilloma and squamous cell carcinoma. The tumor arising from the basal cell of the skin are basal cell carcinoma. There is no benign counterpart for this. The melanocyte give rise to nevi and malignant melanoma. The tumors that arise from or they exhibit the glandular pattern are known as adenoma, papilloma and cyst adenoma. The benign varieties and the malignant counterpart of these varieties are adenocarcinoma, papillary carcinomas and cyst adenocarcinoma. We have already seen the name derivation of these tumors in the earlier section of this video. And the tumors arising from the respiratory passages are bronchial adenoma, the benign tumor, and bronchogenic carcinoma as malignant tumor. The renal epithelium give rise to renal tubular adenoma and renal cell carcinoma. The liver cell tumor are hepatic adenoma, the benign variety, and the hepatocellular carcinoma, also named as hepatoma, as malignant one, and that hepatoma is another ominous oma. The urinary tract epithelium, that is transitional epithelium, give rise to transitional papilloma, that is the benign tumor, and transitional cell carcinoma, the malignant counterpart. The tumor arising from the placental epithelium are hydatidiform mole, that is benign one, and choriocarcinoma, the malignant counterpart. Seminoma, embryonal carcinoma are malignant tumor arising from the testicular epithelium. Then there are mixed tumor such as tumor arising from salivary gland, the pleomorphic adenoma or mixed tumor of the salivary gland, and the malignant tumor, malignant mixed tumor of the salivary gland origin. And some tumors arise from renal and Laga, and the malignant tumors of this variety are termed as Wilms tumor. Then there are tumors that arise from the more than one germ cell layer, and these are teratomas, and these arise from the totipotential cells of the gonads or in embryonic rest. The benign variety of this tumor is mature teratoma or dermoid cyst, while the malignant counterpart is immature teratoma or teratocarcinoma.